You're listening to Gufon Radio with Rich Giordano.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
I believe, as do the other folks that were on the flight, that when we visually saw it, that it was something not from this world.
Gufon Radio.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Gufon Radio with Rich Giordano.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Gufon Radio.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
You're listening to Gufon Radio with Rich Giordano.
Alright. I think we need to make that intro a little shorter, maybe half as long. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Gufon Radio Stream. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is April 27, 2019, Saturday. An impromptu kind of Saturday show where still need to talk about stuff. I can't go the whole weekend without talking about disclosure. I like to talk about it a little bit, you know. Just to round out the week, because we didn't do a lot of videos. I didn't do a lot of videos this week. It was kind of nice to actually have something to fight for, something to fight with, something to fight at. It was nice to stand up, get shut down, get brought back up, get shot down, get shadow banned. I think it is at this point. I'd be surprised if it happened tonight. But if it does happen tonight, because Saturday's not the most popular night, so there's not a lot of people on YouTube at this hour, believe it or not. There's a lot, but not like during the week where people have to work all day or in school all day and then want to get home and YouTube it up. Hold on a second. I just noticed that was a little freaky. There we go. That probably sounds a little bit better. So, I want to have a little fun tonight. We haven't had fun. Well, who are we kidding? We had fun this week. It was a good week. It was probably one of my favorite weeks that I could ever remember. Not only that, we did the round table last night. I love the round table show. I always love it. I don't know what it is about being on that show. Like any round table show, I always feel like I'm competing with the other people to see what I can say that sounds smarter and get it out quick. some people, they do the roundtable show. Didn't happen. It doesn't happen that often. But there was this, I think it was Amy Martin, who was on the roundtable in January. Oh my God. She took up every segment. She didn't understand. You talk for 1 minute and then it's the next guy's turn or girl. She talked 10 minutes like it was like she was the host or the guest. I mean, it was crazy. It's like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. Just shut up. You're making too many points. We have to rebut, rebiff, reboof. But that's a power trip when people do that on roundtables. They don't know when enough is enough. I'm saying it, and none of you did it, except she's the only one that's ever done it on the roundtable show on Spaced Out Radio. That's the only one. Everybody else has been phenomenal. They get it. She's got power issues. That's just, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, man. She's a trip, though, man. Smart girl. She knows her shit. But old school type of way of thinking, I don't know. I'm not going to say it. All right. Tonight, we're going to take our celebratory drink and then our bump. Tonight is grape nos. I like the nos. Jaime Maussan loves nos. Yeah, very much so. Nos. When people have a UFO video, they nos. Thank you, Jaime. Crack this open. The best sound. Right. All over that was a good shot. That was like a Ron Jeremy shot right there. Here we go. I wasn't expecting that grapeness. I forgot it was grape, and I thought it was the other, the regular one. And I was not ready for that. So I got a couple of new characters. I don't know who this is gonna be yet. This is the guy from Star Wars. What's his name? The main character? Not Ren. But I figured for $1.50 and $3, that's Ren. Not Ren, Ray. Now, this Ray will tell us what type of show we're going to have. I know the Avengers came out after tonight. I'm going to go see it. Here we go. Are we going to have a happy show? Are we going to have an angry show? Are we going to have a real angry show? So we're going to, it's happy. Are we going to press the head? Or are we going to think about shit show? So I'm going to press this multiple times without looking and see what kind of show I have to deliver for tonight. And don't forget, we didn't do the 8-ball yesterday, so we got to do the 8-ball. We're going to listen to some shows tonight, and we're going to start picking candidates. Is it candidates? What are they called? Nominees. Now, don't forget, the award show has been moved to New Year's Eve because we're doing the 24-hour show. So the award show would be perfect for that night. Oh, man, it's going to be awesome. I got so many things going through my mind, I'm telling you. All right. So I'm going to press on the head, and wherever it lands, I have to deliver the attitude of Rey from Star Wars. Here, now, I'm going to press on the head like a plunger. Here we go. I'm not looking at it. I don't want to keep knowing. Every time I press, it goes to a different face. That should work. Here we go. I have to deliver. Dun 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 dun. I'm a little nervous. I don't want to do an angry show. I don't know what it is. Here we go. We can see her. Oh, there's her forehead. I see oh, that's my finger. Hold on. I don't know what it is. I see the back of her head. Here it comes. All right. Yeah, I get to do a happy show, see? All right. Thanks, Ray. Oh, I'm thrilled. So we got Ray. And what was the other guy's name? R2? No, he was the robot with the silver leg, right? Who was that? You got that Ron Jeremy joke, Carol? I almost called you Carol. Hey, Carol. Ray and Ren? No, what is it? No, they're thinking of Kylo Ren. Finn. Did you hear all the names? Do you hear the names of the star? This is the genius of Lucas. Ren, Finn, Ray, and Ray. They all have one-syllable names. Luke, Leia. Leia's like a one-syllable name. Chewie. You can say Chewbacca, but everybody calls him Chewie. R2-D2 and C-3PO. They're the only ones that have real names. Multiple syllables. I'm joking about the syllables. Of course, I know people out there like Steve. That's a real one name, but it's really Steven. Or Stefan. And Rich is Richard. Tony is Anthony. Capiche? Gabagool? Want some gabagool? I like to have some gabagool. Where the fuck is the gabagool? Tony Soprano, what are you doing here? Hey, every time I come over, I want to see gabagool spread out all over. I lost my Tony Sopranos. I used to be able to do them. Hey, oh. So, tonight, and psychics. We're going to talk a little bit about, can you be addicted to psychics? I say yes. But I want to talk about Bigfoot first. I think he's failed as a half-human, right? Supposed to have this human, right? And isn't he identified as a hybrid type of humanoid? No? Are we derivative of him, or is he a derivative of us? I think Bigfoot's been here a lot longer. Here's the good news. I love Bigfoot. God, I want him to be real. And, I talk to people, meet people frequently that have seen Bigfoot. And on the Roundtable show last night, met a couple of guys that, I knew them, but have seen Bigfoot. Swear to God, they have seen Bigfoot. I, unfortunately, do not live in the region where Bigfoot is running rampant. Not that he is anyway. But according to the BFRO, the Bigfoot Research Group, is it BFRO? Organization, whatever group. One of their guys, what's his name? The retard guy? Bo? The guy who's really he talks like this. I don't know. He doesn't move his mouth and he's stoned. Bo? What's his name? Buff? And he just talks like this, and he doesn't move. He really doesn't move his mouth because he's kind of shy, I guess. But it's like, we're gonna get Bigfoot. Well, that guy says there's over 5,000 Bigfoot worldwide. No, U.S. Continental U.S. was his words. What was his name? Oh, by the way, I don't want to be rude. I'm trying to get better at this, and I know I'm 5 minutes, 10 minutes in, but I want to say hello to the chat room. I always try my best to remember saying hello. I thank you for joining Gufon Radio Stream tonight. And if there's any issues, B. Baker and Nathan, whoever's here, they're the moderators. They got the little toolbox next to their name, or a wrench or some socket. What is that, a wrench? Yeah, they gave you guys a wrench, huh? So they're looking out. In case the show crashes and I didn't pay attention, they'll let me know. Or they will put you in timeout. There's options. They could put you in timeout for 5 minutes. I didn't know that. Did you know that, guys? You can do that. They can put you in timeout for 5 minutes. Too many posts? Shh. We won't do that to you here. Okay, you want to post? I mean, I don't mind if you post a lot. But don't post like a period or a question mark 500 times. That go to jail for. You go to YouTube jail. Get in that Gufon jail, you prick. So anyway, the BFRO team, that guy claims there's about 5,000. That's a lot. None on camera. I've always had that. That's the problem I've had with it is, I need evidence. Here we got videos, right? Who's that one guy? He talks to Bigfoot, Nipatia. Hold on a second. We're going to have a little fun. Shut off. I'm doing it. Oh, hey, check it out. So I got the new You got to be kidding. Can you see this? Yeah, there's the new cursor. Now look, when I stop using it, it should go to an alien head. See that there? Nice little alien head when it gets over the links. But other than that, it's a UFO? No, it's an alien head. Get out of there. By the way, I was on the other network. I know I'm talking about Bigfoot, but let me talk. It's Saturday night, man. Whatever happens, happens. We're just letting it happen, all right? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we go by the book. Saturday or Sunday or both, I'm winging this shit. Let me wing it. Let me have a fun time, all right? I think I wing it every show. Who are we kidding? I think I'm on camera and I'm not. I was looking around the shows, looking for nominees. And I don't think we should block anyone on the other network that I came from. They're still part of the community. So I took a look at my old boss's show, and I was taken aback, shocked, kind of upset, and happy at the same time. And I'm going to show you why. I know I'm not gloating at all because, yeah, maybe I will be. I don't know. The guy, Hulk.
Hey, brother, you watch it. I'm listening to you, brother.
I looked on your show. I was on the round table. So I'm like, oh, you know what? While I'm waiting, I'm going to listen to other shows. And your show was on.
I know, we did the open line show. Special guest and host, Sean Graham.
22 hours ago is when that stream ended. Guys, this show averages about 1,000. Now, this means something. But in the grand scheme, it really is nothing. Comments that go on in the chat room. When you have a lot of them, like we average about 1,000 a show. Comments made over a 3-hour show. That's about 333 an hour, which isn't bad. It's pretty darn good for not having a million people here. You know what I mean? When I used to be on that network, we were averaging about what? 600 to 800? 600 to 800, 200. Well, I had a 2-hour show and the Hulk had a 3-hour show. And we both had about 600 to 700. Mine was an hour less. But so I actually was crushing it, compared to the main owner of the network there.
I'm the Hulk, brother. Just say it.
Hulk. So I go look at Friday, and I wanted to see. It shows to me that the chat room's involved. Even if they're not listening to the show 100%, they're talking. They're active. They're conversing, sharing ideas. Their critical thinking is getting sharpened. They're testing each other. They're having fun. They're jabbing at each other. It's a chat room with activity, which I love to see. And I think you guys like seeing what other people want to say and, and combat you with or disagree with. I think it shows that there is some sort of interest in the topic. And if there isn't, and the chat room's here, they're friends, whatever you want to be to each other, you know each other. You're having a good time while you're here. You're hanging out. So we average pretty well into the 1,000 or over, usually. Very rare we go under 1,000. So I look at Hulk's show, 180 1 comments. Now, that doesn't mean a lot. Really, it doesn't. Well, let me show you what does mean a lot. See all this? Oh, wait a second. Hold on there. Hold on there, button hook. Check it out. You got Moooon, which is Kevin, nice guy, and Hulk. Okay? Then you got Catalina. She comes here once in a while. Goes on the SOR too. So you got Catalina, Moooon, which is Kevin, and the Hulk. It's just those guys. And then this person really popped in for a little while, threw in her 2 cents, got bored, didn't hang out, wasn't there for the first 2 hours. But it's all Catalina. Oh, Genevieve here and there. Genevieve's been going there forever, so it's not uncommon to check in. But you can see it's the same 3 people. Lily, Catalina, and then Genevieve's been, looks like, hanging out, and Lily. 4 people. So in the grand scheme of all that is that network, literally there's under 10 people in that chat room. Now, the reason I bring that up, how did this happen? Change to 332. You guys saw that, right? How did that change? Well, that's bizarre. So let's say it's 300. It's only 100 an hour. It still sucks. That doesn't tell you all of the listeners. Like, you're going to get a few stragglers, but they're not on mainstream media. They don't have radio stations. They might be streaming off TalkStream Live. But like I said, 6 months ago, it hasn't happened. But in my eyes, that network's dead. I said that they would hang it up and quit. Pretty much it looks like the show did that for them. I mean, you can listen to it. Now, I don't know what's going on there. Non-copyright. So I don't know. It's kind of cute, I guess. A little bit 1950s, right? This is my old boss. It's fantastic, right? You guys getting jiggy? So what do you say, guys? Should we vote for the Here's what I think this category is. I am voting this show in. I know we're not supposed to do this now, but it just popped up. Okay, because there are going to be shows that fit into this category. The category is loss of listeners or decline. Biggest show decline. Biggest decline in ratings. Biggest ratings decline. Okay. Biggest ratings declined. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what he tried to do. Exactly, Cassandra. And that whole network has failed. He did not know how to manage people. He did not know how to get people to... Like, when he put the network together and introduced me and him and then whoever was the third, I can't remember. We never got together in a chat room or in a Skype chat. We never met each other. There was no, oh, that's your show? Oh, that's you? Oh, I didn't know that was your show. I love your show. Never introduced us to each other. You know, when you own a company, you want to know who you're in bed with. If I knew, like let's say he introduced me to Gigi from Shift Happens, and I met that person, and I liked them. Don't you think I would promote it? Talk about it? Have him on the show? There was no motivation to do anything better. And that starts at the top. that boss over there.
Watch it, brother.
You're the worst boss I ever had. Never held any meetings.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm on the road.
Look, I don't want to.
I got a kid to feed.
You weren't even working. You're living at your mom's.
Hey, you watch it, brother. Those are words to die for, brother.
To die for? You mean to live by in your situation?
You're walking a tightrope there, Rich. I gave you everything, brother.
You gave me nothing. You didn't promote. You lied. You got caught in lies. I say this is the biggest decline so far, other than, we got to put it down. LTV Hulk. And the other one, I think, is, what's her name from Art Bell? She's always doing the Art Bell thing, riding Art Bell's coattails. I can't remember the name, and I'm the one who talks shit about her. I wrote it down. No, not Linda Moulton Howe. How? Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Let's get back to Bigfoot. We'll go back to that later. Bigfoot. I know. I'm jumping all over tonight. It's one of those shows. I don't know. I think I'd rather talk about... I think I want to listen to shows. To other shows right now. I think we should. We'll get back to Bigfoot. How does that grab you? I'm changing the format tonight. Drink. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, Richard, that nose is very bad. Why is it bad, Jaime? You eat burritos, tacos, yeah, enchilada too. Right, those are real bad. No, it's all healthy. It's the way my wife makes with fresh tomatoes. She goes into the garden. We just pull off the balloons and we start getting the tomatoes, the lettuce, Cuban cigars. What? Yeah, we grow cigars in the tobacco right in the garden with the tomatoes. You grow your tobacco next to your tomatoes. See, we call it a tobacco-mato. A what? Yeah, it's not that easy to come up with the name, but that's it, tobacco-mato. Why couldn't you come up with anything better than that?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Richie!
Hey, Richie!
What do you know about gardens?
You can't grow them out here. We had 14 hours of sunlight.
Shut up.
Hey, I'm talking about chemtrails.
Later. All right. Let's see who else. While we're on Spreaker, who else can fit? Actually, let's do it this way. Let's just see the shows. Oh, you know what? I do want to listen to this. I want to hear what I'm missing. Now, why is this 181? Hold on a second. 181. Let's take a listen. Since we're staying on topic. Whoa. Hey, gosh. Why isn't it playing? Come on, play it.
Broke or whatever, and I'm like, didn't you just see this?
And this was after you had the coma. You started.
Yeah, this
when
was
you
after
came out?
This was after I had come out of the coma, and
he was in a coma. I gotta hear this. Let's go. Figures that would be difficult.
I don't know if it's theme dream or whatever, but I experience a lot of stuff that I wake up and like, why in the world did I have that dream? You know, well, what's coming up with it? Some stuff can be prophetic, what I dream. Some of it is like, wow, what in the heck did I just get laid with? You know, my entire world just flipped upside down after I lost my leg and woke up in the hospital. I was in the hospital for like 3 months. And at the end of the 3 months, actually the day that I got released from the hospital, my dad passed that very same day.
Oh, I'm sorry. And,
I appreciate it. But it was just like one right after another. One of the experiences I had, not in the near-death experience, but I'll tell you a quick story if you want to hear it. There was a time that I could...
No answer.
I got a quick story if you want to hear it. Boop, 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 boop. Crickets. You're supposed to say, yeah, I would like to hear your story. He just sitting there. What'd he just say? What? Story time. Fuck.
Actually,
something loud's happening here.
Cardboard carton, 49 cents a quart.
It's a commercial.
89 cents a gallon. Sure, you pay a few pennies more, but it's worth
Yeah,
it.
pay me $200 a month. I'll do a 30-second commercial 10 times a month with no listeners. Great.
Well, mad if you want to go down that route. And it sensed that from me. And I was wanting to know what in the hell that thing was looking at in this open.
Is this open lines? This is open lines.
I remember I said,
it's the same guy on the show.
They tell you to make
it's the same guy.
Sure that the patient's not going to hurt themselves. Have I seen it? Yeah, it's rare.
Guys, I'm a little confused. Open lines with special guest and host Sean Graham. So is he hosting the show and a guest? Or is he a guest on the show and hosts a show? I think the latter sounds better, right? But the way it's written, special guest and host. Sean Graham. He's a special graham cracker host. I guess this is him. That's why he's only one caller.
Uncommon to see.
He's the only one.
You know? Well, that's an awesome
that's
story.
A great story.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Oh, we heard a story. Let's hear this.
And my cousin Jeremiah which this is his dad, and he stands in front of him, and he's
only pushed back into the what.
When my stepdad had a stroke, and he went into a coma, and I had learned about massaging somebody out of a coma through my
You disgusting
herbal book, Back to Eden. So when he was in a coma, I'd go to the hospital and massage him. And then there's a herb called skullcap. And I used to, it brings swelling.
There's
down
an
in the
herb called
brain.
Skull Crusher.
And
oh my God, I love this. Oh my God. Oh, God, I needed that. That was so funny to me. I know it's sweet. She wants to go and massage her man or whoever's in deathbed over there in a coma. I love a good coma. I respect a coma. Always respect a coma.
open up his feeding tube and put a couple of drops in there.
Ooh.
And he came out of his coma in 3.
I bet if the nurses saw that, they'd get a little upset.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
more
this.
likely.
But he came out of his coma in 3 days. And
on the third day he rose again, and he's our Lord and Savior, UFO Jesus. His name's Ryan. He came back to life as this guy, UFO Jesus, and we can't shut him up. We can't. By the way, UFO Jesus is a shill soon.
when he had the stroke on his left side, so it affected his right side. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a stroke on one side. You have a stroke, and it affects one side.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. No, he had the stroke on the right side, and it affected his left side. But he couldn't talk, and he would mumble, and it was like I was telepathically. I knew exactly what he would.
I was telepathy. What would she say?
Open up his feeding tube and put a couple of drops in there.
We opened up his
And he
asshole,
came
put
out
a
of
few
his
drops
coma
in there. He
and
was whistling Dixie in 3 days.
I bet if the nurses saw that, they'd get a little upset.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
more
this.
likely.
But he came out of his coma in 3 days, and when he had the stroke on his left side, so it affected his right side. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. No, he had the stroke on the right side, and it affected his left side. But he couldn't talk, and he would mumble, and it was like I was telepathically. I knew exactly what he wanted when he would mumble, and nobody else could understand.
Yeah, because when somebody goes crack, 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 a skull crusher, crack. Oh my God! When somebody has that telepathy, unfreaking believable. Great freaking show. Oh God, that was so funny to me. I am so sorry. No, I'm not. You should be. All right. So, is there another show? I mean, do I listen to anything else? What do you guys listen to? Let's go to Jimmy Church. Oh, wait. Let's write the name of that show down. I already got that one. So let's go to Fade to Black. We'll have to pick a category, I guess. I don't know what we could do. But we're also looking for... I'm going to go through these now quicker. Let's see who's on this show. Oh, it's Jimmy Church. He gets a lot. He does his show on YouTube, though. This is just the upload, right?
Need access to our show archives? It's easy. You can become an official Fadernaut in our membership section.
Oh, he just uploaded an hour.
JimmyChurchRadio.com. Or at our site, JimmyChurchRadio.com. Free downloadable MP3s. And you'll also
this is a minute.
Bunker Cam.
Never mind, it's just an ad. More idiocracy by me. Come on. This is it? This is the link? We don't get another? I thought it was here. Richard Doty. Okay, so let's put this down. We'll put best guests. Quality guests. We have to do this. I know I wrote down the topic somewhere else, and I was looking for that book, and I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I see it. All right. Well, we'll start over. It doesn't matter. We'll put it all together. Any ideas in there? Fade to crack. Forget about. Must burn Richard from Boston. This is butters on thing. Jealous. She was comes some series one about Heather Wade. Thank you. I couldn't remember her name. Heather Wade. Now, I can't vote for Dave Scott, but Spaced Out Radio has to go with best guests in the category. I already know who I'm voting for in that category. See, I can't vote. I guess I can vote for Dave if I want to. And I'm going to be so honest that if I was to bet, I wouldn't say that Dave doesn't have bad guests. Let me just make that clear. But there are shows out there that get Luis Elizondo type of guests. You know what I mean? Everybody and anybody. Which Dave, I think, has now reached that point. But until George Knapp was on the show, because I think George Knapp's going to open up many doors as far as Dave and Spaced Out Radio goes, as far as getting guests. I think that's a big feather in Dave's cap. I think that if he plays it right, that could really help Spaced Out Radio out a lot. No Nacho Libre masks with George Knapp, please. Although George Knapp seems like a really cool guy. So with that being said, Coast to Coast probably gets the best guests, wouldn't you say? See, it's almost not fair, but this is what we have to do. Oh, we're going to have some categories that are going to be unbelievably freaking weird, which will win all those. Oh, let's put that as a category. Most original? Most original programming. That I like. That's tough. You know, because there are shows out there that I've seen that are better than mine, in my opinion, just because they have an overall smoothness about them. They have the animated stuff in perfect sync in what they're talking about. If they want to talk about something, it slides in from the bottom. Next up, we're going to have, you know, John Doe. John Doe's name appears. Very cool. That is what I call, I guess that would be more or less producing. Would that be producing a show? I think that falls in the line as producing, or, because, you know, I just learned today, Crowder, Louder with Crowder, I don't know if you're familiar with the show, is seriously getting shadow banned. It's sad. But he has 15 people working for him just to make that podcast, to make a few videos a week. Isn't that amazing? 15 people. I take your guys' advice, but I'm an idiot. I don't put it together sometimes, or I forget about it, or it gets mixed in with other emails, and I'm lazy. I mean, seriously, I have a problem. You know, it's getting better. So we could do best, that's original. That's not original programming. Original programming is tough. But I'm going to put original content instead of programming. I'm going to change programming to content. Most original content. How about most controversial? Right? No? That is true, Pat. You know, coast to coast, this is the problem with real radio. You get 10 minutes a show, 7 minutes of commercials. You really do. You get no show. I love the fact that we can just keep going without a break. I only like taking breaks because, well, not all the time, but I do need to go, you know, get coffee or visit the restroom just to see if it's working. No other reason. How about... you know what? I don't think I've ever listened to Shift Happens. Let's take a listen and see where we could put this. STFU sounds good to me. So far, the production qualities kick ass. I don't understand this, how there's zero. I guess it doesn't mean much.
If you were dropped when you were just a Zika when you're
a little dark towards the end, isn't it? I can't really endorse that.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here.
Well, all right, there we go. Wow, that was the first time I've ever heard that song. It did get a little dark towards the end.
I don't think this is Shift Happens. This is from Shillbilly Internet Radio.
Of the song.
This has been
but anyway,
simulcast.
The general message across.
He said acrossed.
Last night.
Can't even use proper grammar. Last night, oh my God, guys. I don't think this qualifies as a show.
Anyway, I think it gets the general message across. Last night, wow. I did a lot of yelling because it was so fucking frustrating. It's like, and revealing, but you know,
he's smoking while he's doing his show. He's smoking while he's doing his show. I just heard him take a drag off the cigarette. And it was, listen, you don't do that.
And revealing, but,
Right there.
And I'm not going to get into a big...
In revealing.
Fucking frustrating.
Here we go.
It's like, and revealing, but, and I'm not going to get into a big thing about everybody and who they are and everything. We all know who everybody is. And we all know who I am. Like, I am who I am. I'm an angry dude. And I have a tendency to just say. You know what I mean? I just say. And I yelled at Darren last night because Darren has this naiveness about him. And I don't think he really understands all the time. Or if he does, he's evil too. But I really don't think he...
I got nothing. Really. I got nothing. Let's try this again.
New Orleans. Why do I say New? I say I love this. So or abducted, and they're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean?
Their volume is so effing low. Look at the volume
Not
on
enough
that.
People know this story, even though for the veterans of us, we've obviously,
Let's try this.
With tremendous high strangeness involved in it, and then we married in a year later in 1991.
The caller who's calling in is louder than the actual hosts. I want to hear the hosts.
In just a couple of months, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've heard. This is not the first time I've been approached by a group of musicians that are
What is this?
Kind of taking the niche of a ancient astronaut theory or what have you, or anything related to the show. There's been a few acts that have done that, but here's the difference: is all those other ones sucked. This band is actually like really good, and I was talking to the guy for probably at least.
This band is really good. I know I'm supposed to do the show happy. I tell you what, I can't do this. I have to apologize to you guys. I took 40 minutes of your time, 30 minutes, and literally gave you shit radio or shit video show. I'm sorry. I thought I could make this interesting. This is unbelievably bad. Okay, into the Paranormal. Jeremy Scott. Sounds like Dave Scott. Let's take a listen. This guy is on the Hoax Network. Yes. All right, 82 in 2 hours, so he's on 41 an hour. Can't hear you.
Consciousness. So those are, I would say, the three main patterns. One of the, I guess, another really fascinating aspect of these sites, and I kind of briefly touched on it, is
Glenn Kriegsberg and Ethan Siegel.
The relationship to these cycles, the great cycles of time, and how these sites may represent a connection to those. If we look a little bit deeper into what I call pre-Christian mythology, because a lot of this mythology is represented in Christian symbolism, such as the tree of life and the serpent that's wrapped around the tree, and the story of the serpent and how it relates to the tree of life. If we look at the symbolism in that, to me, what we see is that the tree or the staff is representing the axis of the earth, and where that axis points to in the sky is the point we call celestial north.
Somebody
this
blow
was
my
very important to
fucking brains
ancient
out.
cultures worldwide.
Blow my fucking brains out. All right. Do you see why I don't want to have guests on a lot? Do you see? I'm very picky. I'm not picky. I'm a little picky. All right, I'm trashing this. This guy, we have a new category because of Into the Paranormal. It is the show that is on 1 day a week show. What is the best show that's on 1 day a week? Okay? All right. Now, we're done with that. Obviously, that was a big fail for the show tonight. It happens. It's the weekend. What do you want from me? Bigfoot? You want to talk about Bigfoot? Do you really feel like Bigfoot? Fuck you. You're not getting it. No Bigfoot for you. Not now. All right. So, let's get on to the next thing, shall we? Angus Cam. Oh, he moved. All right. As we know, Angus is a big part of the show. And he has a story he gave to me earlier today. All right. You want to talk about it? We can talk about it. You want to do it now? We can do it now. No? You don't want to do that? All right. Then we're not doing it. Well, what I wanted to talk about. You want to talk about it? Yes or no? What is the secret space? Do you guys know what's going on? Mark Richards, his SSP testimony to Kerry Cassidy story. Does anybody know what's going on with this? I don't know. I just saw some drama. There was a guy who asked Kevin Moore to remove his name from the documentary they're making. He doesn't like the direction it is apparently taken about secret space testimony. They're making a documentary about it. He says, I don't condone or even like C.W. Chanter. Now, I know I've had conversations with C.W. Chanter, but I can't remember what about. Does anybody know C.W. Chanter? And somebody maybe refresh my memory. I'm going to take a look at something. I want to see if I can find it. C.W. Chanter. Maybe it's here. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. C.W. I just saw it. I just saw it pop up. No? Maybe it's not that way. Maybe it's that way. There it is. Oh, we follow each other already. I knew it. So what's the big deal? What's going on? I don't understand. Well, look, Sean Morton and others have ended up in federal prison. Wilcock is not above the law. You cannot post a GoFundMe page where the text body is filled with lies and fabrications. Then just keep the money. Wow, I think I've said that 100,000 times. Peterson is not a government whistleblower. He is a con man. Yay! Oh, I love this guy. Big hearts to you, bro. Oh, I have seen it. Okay, goes by C. I have definitely seen this. UFO cults may practice forms of hypnotism or brainwashing. Well, this guy was upset with what was going on by taking him out of this movie. He says this guy didn't know anything about the case until 2 weeks ago. And this is not some sort of ploy. I want nothing to do with the mudslinging, lies, and online harassment Chanter has been engaged in self-gain and self-notoriety. Kevin apparently now supports this behavior, but clearly do not. I don't want my name associated with any of it anymore. C. Cantor, from what I remember, is one of those guys who likes to push buttons. Not really a truther, just a dick. That was my impression. I may be wrong. I'm going to go look back and see if that's what I think. But if I'm reading this correctly and it is the same person, then I'm positive I'm right. Myself, he goes on, and family have been through enough these past months, and this documentary and what is now happening is not my best interest at all. I become a somewhat humbled and changed person after that horrible Paradise Fire. It has had a very profound effect on my life and the lives of my two very young daughters. What started out as a classy documentary based on documented actual facts interviews with actual witnesses, and excellent footage of where these events happened, has turned into an ugly mudslinging match I no longer want to be a part of. Look, I'm going to tell you something. How many times do we go through the same thing? Same thing. It doesn't matter where you turn in this field. Somebody's screwing somebody over, whether it's plagiarism by both Wilcock and Corey Good, both of whom stole from Linda Moulton Howe, of all people. We've seen that many times. Bellagio, whatever the hell his name is, claims he was at the Lincoln address. What was it, 1865? I got a picture of me. You can see me. I'm wearing big man shoes. Standing in feces. I'm standing in feces in 1865. Somebody help me. I'm in a time warp. Believe you and me. These people did not go into the past. They did not go to Mars. The secret space program may be real, but they're not part of it. Jack, they would have been dealt with if they were. See, and I think this goes along with everything that goes on in ufology. I don't trust any group, any organization, or any, website that's a .org. I don't trust them. I can't. I won't. We've seen MUFON fall apart at the seams. MUFON has been in disarray for 15 years that I know. That I've been around. That's all I've ever heard. MUFON's a mess. MUFON's a wreck. We need to redo MUFON. Schuster, whatever his name, needs to be, taken out of his position. Back then. We talked about this during breaks on the round table while we're waiting for the commercials to go. And we all in agreement that New Force, the National UFO Reporting Center with Peter Davenport, is the only organization or platform, whatever you want to call it, or place where you want to send in your UFO reports to that hasn't been corrupt by the government. That man stood his ground, did not sell out. Congratulations, Peter Davenport. The guy's trying his best, and I think he's 136 years old. Yeah, somebody said 146. No, it's 136. I checked. I checked on Wikipedia. Drink. All right. This infighting, I mean, you talk about making documentaries. Even if this is the reason most of us sky watchers don't go out with other people, everybody thinks they know more than you. My camera works a little differently than your camera. I'm going to stand over here. Yeah, if you come over here, you can see it this way. You know, I'm going to do it my way. I have a different agenda than you. I am here to capture footage, not to lose it in the sun. And then they want to go hiking on these godforsaken trails that lead to nowhere. This is where the Indians took their donkeys and their horses. And they looked up and they prayed to the sky people. They called them gods. The star gods. Did they? Is that what they called them? All right. So we're going to hike 2 miles when I could have driven right around and parked over there. We had to go the long way on foot in the heat during the summer. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And for what? For scorpions, snakes, and javelina? My God, the javelina in the wild desert. It's crazy out here to go sky watching in the raw desert. Can't do that. Although you have to. I just want to read this last paragraph because I love it. I don't feel like I'm the only one here that has to deal with stuff like this. The guy goes on. He says, I was supposed to meet up with Kevin this Sunday to finish filming some new, rather startling interviews. Sunday came and went. No contact with Kevin. That's the problem with these UFO people. I'll call you Friday. They don't call. You call them. They're like, what do you want? Oh, you said you were going to call me Friday. It's Sunday. You didn't call all weekend. Oh, I didn't know we had an appointment, Mr. Giordano. Let me get right on that kind of attitude. I'm like, dude, you told me you were going to be in Phoenix to film shit. I changed plans around to be with you. Well, oh, sorry, I didn't know, but things in Hollywood change on a dime, Rich. Jose Escamilla and his fucking lies. 6 feet under. No loss. I feel bad for the guy, he goes on. Crossy and Hoover, Richard's crime partner and co-defendant, has been diagnosed with liver cancer and will likely die in prison very soon. I feel bad for the guy because he never stood a chance once he hooked up with Mark Richards. My main reason for leaving the documentary is based solely on C.W. Chanter being on it and the mudslinging it has turned into. I realize now it was never my documentary, even though I had been trying to get this made for 5 years, and Kevin kept saying it was my documentary. I even sent Kevin a lot of money to help out. I am now regretting everything. Poor guy. Puts all this money into making a documentary, and they're screwing him. If I told you that UFO hunters stole that name from me, would you believe me? They did. You want to know how? They had a name. Here's the story. One I've never told, and I purposely never told it for this day. No, I'm just kidding. I just never told it out of the relationship I had with certain people at the time. So I hear this guy, Bill Burns, and Pat Eskert, or it's Eskert, and some other people are coming to Phoenix to make a movie soon. It was supposed to be like a documentary type of thing. And they're calling it UFO Road Trip. UFO Road Trip. I have the DVD of UFO Road Trip. The actual documentary that never made it. Because UFO Road Trip turned into UFO Hunters, the TV series. And, well, as you may know the history, or you may not know, Jeff Willis was friends with, well, we're friends. I mean, he was a host on my show, a co-host, and we were doing AZ Skywatchers together. And I said, you know, Jeff, we should do our own show called UFO Hunters. And he goes, yeah, man, that's a great idea. And he even said that they're thinking of doing something like that. I said, Jeff, we could sell it. All we need to do is just go out one weekend and show what we do and edit in some UFOs that we think, we captured. Dude, we could make a documentary or make it into a show. Well, I didn't know at the time that Jeff Willis is friends with Pat Eskert, knows Bill Burns, knows those guys that were coming to Phoenix to meet with him. And another guy named Jeff Woolwine. They were supposed to meet with me for the Arizona segment that they did, the Arizona Lights, because we have such a history out here. So a little bit of time goes by, and Jeff Willis goes, they're making a UFO documentary, and they're using my name. Well, they're going to use, you mean Jeff Willis? He goes, no, UFO Hunters. I go, Jeff, that was mine. I told you about UFO Hunters. Oh, yeah, that's right, he says. He goes, well, I mentioned it to them, and they're going to use it. I said, are you friggin' kidding me? Unfrickin' believable. And you know what I said to myself? I was never going to do it. I was never going to make it. But I even talked about it on my show. I bet you if I look up or listen to those shows that I have saved up, AZ Skywatchers, you can hear us talking about it. God. Well, That's what happens when you don't copyright something. Your ideas are out there until they're copywritten or there's a recording of it somewhere that can prove it in a timely manner, I guess. I don't know how it works. But I'm the guy who came up with UFO hunters. They stole my idea. And the reason I never said or told this story before, because there's a lot of ideas that I've done, which of course I've stolen from other shows. I mean, these aren't all my idea. I mean, I come up with stuff that's never been done in the paranormal genre. You know, the UFO radio shows. Nobody's done. I did the UFO trivia game. Nobody ever did that. I did UFO Jeopardy. Now they're doing it at Moooon with Alejandro Rojas, and the worst performance I've ever seen of a host. They stole my idea. He actually said, Alejandro Rojas said it's a stupid idea. He always thought my ideas were stupid. Oh, nice of you to steal it. I am the Howard Stern of ufology. They used to call me that. I am. Because I come up with things that nobody else wants to do or can do or feels they can do it. Or doesn't have the personality to do it, doesn't have the balls to do it. And when you do it and you steal it from me, it sucks because it wasn't your idea. Because there's no heart in it. That's why I don't like Corbell. His documentaries suck. He has no love for ufology. He has no love. He'll tell you I'm a liar. I'm wrong. What do you mean I don't have a love? You think I'm going to make a documentary just because I want to make money? Yeah, that's what I think. You're just in it for the money. Ufology was a hot topic. I started working on that long before To the Stars Academy. Well, you may have had, and I think I heard this through the rumors that circulate in this small community, that you knew about To the Stars Academy before it went public, like a lot of people did. But nobody knew for sure until they went public. So you probably had a feeling something big was about to happen. You came out with Patient 17. That was a frickin' eyesore. My God, I never fell asleep so much and had to rewind and start over from where I thought I left off. It was awful, that movie. Just awful. He doesn't have an original thought. There's no love. There's no originalities. He's basically taking old stories and mashing them into new technology. It's not a way to do a movie. Very bad. It's like remaking Superman again. Same thing. How many times are you going to tell fucking Roswell's story? Seriously. How many times are you going to talk about the same old shit? Shag Harbor, Rendlesham Forest, Aurora. My God. What was the other one? Kecksburg. Let's go back to 1965 again one more time, shall we? Anything else happen in the 60s? Anyway, it's good to see that there's other people out there putting up with bullshit, and I feel bad for that guy. Put his money into the documentary, got screwed over, wanted out, and they made him look like shit. Why is it this way in this field? Why is it that way? I'll tell you why. You want to know the answer? I'll tell you why. We're going to take a break, though. So when we come back in 5 minutes, look, I told you we weren't going to be shut off tonight or frozen, and I'm correct. We have not been shadow banned. Hour and 9 minutes. I knew it wouldn't happen tonight. How do I know? I don't know. You tell me, how do I know? So I want to take a break for 4 minutes and 20 seconds. So let's take a break. And when we come back, what were we going to talk about? What was I going to say? What was I going to talk about? I can't remember. Guys, what did I just say? What did I just say? All right. Tell me in the chat room. We'll be back. Take 5. Gufon Radio. Be back 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
friend in me. You got a friend in me.
Celebrate friendship and beyond during the first ever Pixar Fest with the all-new Pixar-themed fireworks spectacular and your favorite park parades. Celebrate from April 13th through September 3rd, only at Disneyland Resort. Visit Disneyland.com for details.
There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. You got a friend in me.
Entertainment subject to change without notice.
Blog Talk Radio.
Because everything about anybody else except for Anthea on Blog Talk Radio. Hi, Anthea. I didn't see you there. Great show tonight, Anthea. By the way, if you haven't been over to Anthea's show, After Dark Radio here with your host, Anthea, what a great Cosmo show she had tonight. All right, well, tonight's show I'm trying something a little new. I have an alter ego. It's kind of the comedy side of Rich Giordano. Not really that good at it, but I did an interview with myself, the Rich Giordano interviewer. I kind of did it myself there. I'm going to try it tonight, but usually, you know, when you listen to the Tonight Show, you get Jay Leno, you know, and that kind of guy. So to start tonight's show out, I wanted to get people here before I played it. I just have a little bit of fun that I did for about 5 minutes. So this is, you know, like the beginning of the Tonight Show when Jay Leno comes out and does "Oh, Jaime Maussan." Rich Giordano. Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know, I was standing outside. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Mom? Yeah, I was standing outside the Starbucks there over on 4th and Brimstone, and I looked up and I saw a bunch of balloons. Then I realized, it was Jaime Maussan. You know, I'll be here all night. Yeah, tonight, you know, we're going to be talking about some UFOs. Huh? Have you seen any of these things flying around the sky? Because if you have, you've been drinking. But seriously, folks, UFOs have been around since the beginning of time. As a matter of fact, what time is it now? Is this thing on? Yeah. Well, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the news earlier this evening talking about disclosure. Yeah, disclosure is where they say aliens are going to make themselves visible. Well, I think they've been making themselves visible for the last 20 years. If you look at the border, we got to stop them at the border. We got to get them there. Forget it. We got to get them the governor of California. Get him out. You know, I was in Arizona over the last couple of nights, and it was a really nice night. Great town, great people. And I look over to the left, and I'm having one of them Starbucks coffees like I always do. And I noticed, I looked up in the sky, and I saw Jaime Maussan. Yeah, Jaime Maussan. He's one of these UFO geniuses from Mexico. Well, he's out there, and he's talking Spanish and shit, and I realized, hey, this guy's jumping over the border. We got to stop that guy. You see the irony there, because he's an alien. Tonight we're going to have on Rich Giordano. He's a UFO specialist there. He's going to be coming on. We're going to be interviewing. We're going to hear an interview with him there. And it should be pretty good. He's a UFO realist. He calls himself a realist because everything else in his life ain't real. You know, I laugh like David Letterman, I sound like Jay Leno, and I look like Rich Giordano. And that's a trifecta there, huh? You can have a good show with that face and chin. Nah, I'm just kidding, You know, I was looking in the newspaper, and wouldn't it be great if aliens could play sports? Huh? Yeah? Well, I think we got a bunch of them in the NBA. Yeah, I'm just kidding. It's a bad joke, very bad joke. Yeah, you know, I always wondered if I could ever have sex with an alien, you know? You ever see, like, Captain Kirk? Always looked like he always had sex with an alien? You ever wonder if his toupee fell off during sex? And the aliens would reject him. That would be really great, huh? I'm just kidding you. You know, my chin has been known to have a lot of cause of conversation amongst the aliens. It's the most sexiest feature on a human head. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, Jewish guys. A survey came out, said that 85% of Americans believed in ghosts, and 50% of them have seen an apparition. Well, I guess that explains the NBC lineup. Oh, he said. All right there. Hey, are you one of these people who believe in 2012? You know, the end of the earth, the end of days, as they call it, end of the earth. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But on December 21st, 2012, that's about a year or so from now, they're saying that the end of things as we know it is about to happen. Kind of like this show. All right, well, we're going to be back, and when we come back, we're going to interview Rich Giordano. So, folks, come on back, and we'll see you in 3 and 2. All right. Welcome back to Gufon Radio Stream. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of the AZ UFO show. Can you turn that off? No, turn it off. Off! Unbelievable. What were we talking about? I don't even remember. I know, now I'm stuck with this camera for a little bit. Brother. Hold on a second. I just heard something. A commercial? Where? No, there's no commercial. Wait. Okay, let me press play. Hold on. There was a commercial I was told to play.
We'll be back to our show right after this word from one of our sponsors.
Do you suffer from restless nights?
Oh.
Are you experiencing headaches and confusion?
A little.
Does your brain get overwhelmed by not enough information? Then you may be one like thousands of others suffering from the traumatic symptoms and pain of Rich Giordano-osis. But now relief is just a click away with the new AZ UFO show. Simply tune in every Friday evening and wait for the magic to begin. In fact, the AZ UFO show worked so well that 8 out of 10 confused skeptics were less confused than from other UFO shows they had listened to. Just listen to what a few satisfied listeners have to say.
It seemed like no matter where I went to for a UFO radio show, I'd end up being bored within the first couple of minutes. A friend of mine told me I should try the AZ UFO show, and boy, am I glad I did.
My family's the one that really suffered the most. 1 minute Mom is listening to Rich Giordano, and 3 days later we found her wandering in a field looking for flying humanoids 30 miles away. Thanks, AZ UFO show.
My wife sure would get mad when she asked questions about UFOs and I just couldn't answer them. But now, thanks to Rich and his show, those days are a thing of the past. After being developed and conceived by his parents and living in New York, it gave Rich the unique ability to be able to socialize publicly with such expressions as, "Hey, forget about it!" and "You talking to me?" After moving to Arizona, Rich had a weird event that would change his life forever. A backed-up toilet exploded after Rich had lit a match to clear the air. The explosion did more than just clear the air. Soon afterwards, Rich had the unique ability to see UFOs flying overhead, and then later would dream about sharing his experiences with anyone that would listen to him. So tune in every night and see what Rich will clear up next. After effects of listening to Rich may cause intelligence, the ability to see UFOs, the need to purchase a good camera, loss of a wife or a girlfriend, sleeplessness, hours upon hours of staring up at the sky, cold feet, and in a rare possible case, disclosure.
Good commercial, man. Yeah, that was a guy named Johnny Anonymous, and he used to make those commercials for me. I think he did 3 or 4. I thought, and I know this sounds really weird, didn't it sound like Dave Scott? It wasn't, though, but it kind of did. Kind of wild stuff, man. Yeah, it's amazing what's in the archives of the old AZ UFO show. You know, there's 500 of them. So there's a lot of stuff went on. AZ UFO show was fun as hell. Very fun time we had. I think I do an interview. Hold on a second. I think I'm right. I did an interview with Jay.
And I'm your host, Rich Giordano Leno. And tonight I'm going to have here with me, coming out here in a second, Rich Giordano. He's going to be coming out he's from Arizona. He's one of these UFO realists, as you heard me talking about in my monologue. He's going to come out. We're going to learn a little bit about UFOs. Huh? You guys like that? Good, good. All right, and then after that, we're going to have on Kate Hudson and Artie Lang. Artie Lang, comedian Artie Lang. And then after that, we're going to go home, maybe take some questions. All right, well, it's about that time there. We're going to interview Mr. Rich Giordano. So I'd like to welcome out Mr. Rich Giordano. Come on out, Rich. Yeah, nice to have you. Nice to have you on
Good
your
stuff.
show. Nice coming out. Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Man, I got to tell you, coming down here, the flight was killing me. I'm not trying to be funny, Jay, but my arms are killing me. I think you got that joke a little bit wrong, Dan. I know, I'm just kidding. I can never be like you. Hey, well, what we're going to do is we're going to ask Rich a couple of questions. You're one of these people that claims to say that UFOs are real. Are they real, or is it just a lot of, a little hogwash, a little storytelling there? Actually, Rich, I think UFOs are real. I'm not certain what percentage of them are real. Oh, look, I can see when you're at home, you don't get to see all the lights and everything. I can't really see the audience. Just keep going. Just tell your story. Just don't worry. There's nobody listening to this show. There's nobody here. All right. UFOs are real, but we got a lot of people out there who claim to see more than what's really out there. Like, you go on YouTube and people put up videos and they say they're real, but they're actually airplanes. And there are a lot of people in ufology who don't like you. Is that what I found out a little bit about you? It looks like there's not a lot of people who like you. What are you doing wrong? Are you pissing people off? Well, what I'm doing, I tell the truth as it is. I'm what's known as a debunker. And when I see someone putting a post out on YouTube, or they're going on a radio show or a TV show like this, I will actually call in or make a comment and just let them have it. What do you mean? Give me an example. Like, there's this one guy. His name's Robert. I won't give out his name because, we're national television. But like I said, nobody's watching. I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry. And he says he's videotaping Bigfoot. He videotapes aliens in trees. He videotapes, miniature demons. Wait a second there. What part of town is this guy in? He is from Fresno, California. Oh, well, that explains it. It's the meth capital of the world.
All right, I think I'm going to shoot myself in the back of the head, watch my guts and brain matter go forward. I'm not even going to try to stop it. God, that was awful. It shows you, now it's not easy to be a Jay Leno. Chin and all. God, that was awful. I'm sorry I put you through that. This is a show of failures tonight. Let's just call it that little show of horrors. You have a great week. I loved this week. I loved it like no other week in a long time. I got to tell you, it's been, whoa. You guys still with me? Yep, it looks like you are. Hey, by the way, I don't turn the power off on my own show and say it froze, Pat. the insinuation as a joke. People have been banned for less. But unbelievable how bad that is. I am so sorry I did that to you. All right, so look, let's move on. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Bigfoot, there's not much I can say. Now, there's a problem that I think is running rampant, and it has never stopped since the 70s. And that is, of course, fake psychics. Do I need to tell you anything else? You know what I'm going to do? Starting off with the fake shit, I'm going to play a video that Mr. B. Baker sent to me about, and this is great. I'm going to play almost the whole thing, 5 minutes. But this guy's going to demonstrate, and debunk probably most of the paranormal or poltergeist videos. Let me pull that up for you because this is an amazing video. And I love this, man. You guys got to watch this. And I was rather impressed with what B. Baker said. I feel the same thing. You'll see a towel. That's all I'm going to say. There's a towel that moved. And the way this guy did it, it looked like it was picked up by a ghost. And then I want to play and talk about fake psychics, real psychics. I want to find a real one tonight. Are there any? Do we know of any real psychics? I'm looking for the video. I have played their... Oh, God. I'm not even going to mention it. There's so many videos I watched in the last day or two. Hold on. I don't know where it is. I could just go to the email and pull it up. That would have been the easiest thing to do, right? I thought this would be easy. I figured I'd go in the history. I know where it is, but I think I've watched a couple hundred videos. It's got to be right here. Oh. I also want to talk about this guy, Dabu777. Oh my God. Here it is. There's so much to talk about. Now, I think I can save this show. I'm going to start saving the show right now. This is the beginning of the show. All right. Let's get it going. So this guy, and I will give him credit where credit is due. Here we go. This is great.
Recently noticed some of the fans and followers of these poltergeist videos have been coming to my page and making some nasty, disrespectful comments and calling me names and things like that. Now,
welcome
really,
to the
I don't understand
country.
why they're doing this, because the fact of the matter is, these videos are supposed to be helpful. I'm trying to help you guys recognize this so you're not fooled. I mean, when you stand behind these guys and stand behind these videos, really what you're doing is insulting your own intelligence. So, I mean, think logically, guys. Please don't let these guys fool you anymore.
Okay.
Now, the reason we know these videos are fake is because we have analyzed these videos frame by frame, and we have seen a lot of discrepancies that the average person just watching it wouldn't see. Now, I would like to point those discrepancies out individually, but the problem is, if I were to upload a video with their content, I promise you YouTube would make me take it down, and I'm not going to put that much effort into it to have the video taken down. Okay guys, now it's time to learn how the videos are made. Now I know there are several theories as to how these videos are created and the supplies that are used, so I'm going to show you what I used for mine. The first thing I got was some tape. Now I prefer Scotch tape because it's fairly heavy duty and it's see-through, so get you some plastic tape, it's going to work great. Next thing we're going to need, and you guessed it, string. Now I'm going to be using yarn, but you can use string, fishing line, rope, it doesn't matter, because when we go into post-editing, we're actually going to take that out, so you're not going to see it anyway. And for this particular video, I had to use a needle because I actually had to thread some things to give the proper effect. And the last piece of hardware we're going to be using are anchors. Now, these anchors are just Christmas ornament hangers. That's all they are. And we're going to take them and we're going to bend them like so, and we're going to use these to anchor our strings and be able to pull them and slide them and maneuver them. So guys, let's go into the kitchen and set this video up, and I'm going to show you how.
You know what's hysterical about this guy? He's actually reading from like a teleprompter or cards or something. You can tell. Anyway.
Everything's done.
I digest.
Okay guys, we're in the kitchen where it all went down. Now what we need to do is make sure
where it
the
all went
tripod
down
is really, really steady. We don't want the video jumping around. If we do, it's going to completely mess up our shot. We want to make sure it's well lit.
All right, so he puts the anchor into the ceiling, and then he puts the string fishing line
to make it move in two directions at once.
He says you could make the anchor curve it a certain way so you can make it move two different directions or wherever you want.
Now the reason we didn't get our background shot first is because we're actually going to be moving stuff around here. And if we accidentally do that and it shows up in the final product, it's going to be really noticeable and it's going to really mess the entire video up. Okay, now that we've got our first object anchored in and ready to pull, we need to find a good place to stand because this is going to be a one-man effort. All of the strings are going to be pulled from the same direction, so we may need to hook up additional anchors to control the way that each object is moving. And sometimes we'll even hook two strings to an object to make it move in two directions at once, and that's a really cool effect too. But what we're going to do next is actually hook this other stuff up and rig it for the poltergeist video. But in order to save time, we're not going to do that, but I will show you what I used. It was the towel here. I actually threaded that through to make it look like...
Let me tell you something, Rich. What? I know for a fact that some places are haunted. I know. Not everything's faked. I know. But this guy's showing you how things can be faked and how most videos are. Hey, you should come over to my place, Boston.
Like it was being picked up from different directions. I hooked a second string for the second active motion. It comes up and then it shoots out.
He actually put the wire through the towel to make it look like it's being lifted and connected it through the anchors. Oh, you're going to love it.
Now for the other dish rag here, I did the same thing. And for the Kool-Aid canister, what I actually did was I take my thread underneath here, so when it was pulled, instead of it just tipping over, it was actually lifted. So that gives a cool effect there. And let's go ahead and take this out of the shot. We've got it set up. And we're going to wait for our cue. We're going to try not to move things around too much. And when we get our cue,
you can see all the strings.
We're going to unleash the poltergeist.
It's crazy.
In 3, 2, 1.
What?
Well, there it is, guys. That's how the poltergeist video is done. Now let's go into the editing station, and I'm going to show you how all the masking is done so we can get our final 100% real poltergeist video.
What?
After we shot our manipulated objects, we shot 30 seconds of still video. We took out the props and all the strings, and we're going to use that as the background. Here on our timeline at the top, we've got our moving video, and at the bottom, we've got our background. One problem, we've got strings. We need to get rid of these. Now, there's two ways to do it. We can mask them out, or we can mask the objects in. So for this particular video, to make it easier, we're going to mask the objects in. So we go to Event Pan Crop and open this up. And to make it a little more visible, I'm actually going to blow this image up some. Now, in order to keep these images in the shot without the strings, we have to mask them in. So we're going to click on our anchor tool, and we're going to start setting anchor points. Now, we want to get as close to the object as we can, but we don't want to be right up on it. So it takes time to do this. I mean, this isn't a quick process at all. And once you've got all of your anchors in, I'm going to be a little sloppy here.
All right, come on, get to it.
We don't have to worry about those right now. Asking this.
All right, he's covering up strings. We get it.
Reset frame. Now, mask out the shadows as well.
Max out the, okay. Here we go.
And that's the video, and everything's masked out.
Here we go.
Excuse me, the objects are masked in. That way we can't see the strings at all. So that's how the masking's done. That's how the video is created. And that's how we do a fake poltergeist video.
Here's a poltergeist video. Watch, watch. Unmasked versus masked. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, he's pretty good. You can see the strings here. What? Spatula. That's amazing. Now watch. Masked. What?
You see what I liked about that? Oh, watch this. Sorry, go ahead. I know, I talked. Who gives a shit? You seen it. I like this thing over here, whatever moved over there, the way it started to move. This, watch. It actually looks like something was trying to grab it. You like my little UFO? That's amazing. Let's watch that one more time.
And done. That's how the video.
Here it is unmasked. Strings, you can see them. Whoop. 2, 1. There's that string right there. All right, took them all out. Two, one, launch. That's crazy. It looks great, man.
Well, there you have it. How to fake a poltergeist video. I want to thank you for watching.
God, I wish that guy could fake a personality video. Jesus, man. I can't watch that guy that much. Oh, man, that is brutal. But that was interesting. Very, very cool. I was happy that B. Baker sent me that. Very good video. They're not easy to find anymore. I've played them in the past. I guess I could pull them all up again and try to find them. See, now, when you listen and watch these videos, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's got to be fake. You know? Now, there is some interesting things that I found. They were, let's see, they were the, what is this? Oh my God, look at this. I almost, no, God, I can't even tell you. People getting scared, not in the mood right now. There was a couple of videos that I really enjoyed. These were good. I know what I wanted to talk about. The Dabu guy. I want to go to that channel. I'm going to look at something first here. Dabu. Yada. Bill Burr. Oh my God, is he the funniest guy or what? So, I found a bunch of bullshittery with this guy. This guy's channel, it's pretty big. He's got 33,000 views, but apparently he went to Area 51 and has a story, claims that he was on top of Tikaboo Peak or whatever it's called, and they were watching him from the mountain across the way, and nobody stopped them from videotaping what he called two objects outside a new hangar in Area 51. Then he claims in the story that the objects just disappeared in plain sight. Like they were there. So a lot of people were wondering where that video is. I found it. It's here. Let's take a look. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, this isn't too hard. It's a pretty cool video, though.
Look straight outside of the hangar, the southernmost hangar. Zoom in on it, on the southern part of the field. I'm trying to see what these objects are.
Right here.
And we're packing up. This is going to be one of the final shots from the top of Tikaboo.
Now, I have to admit, it is interesting. I have no idea what it is.
Looking down at Area 51, but you can see these two objects down there kind of twinkling.
And I don't think it's two objects.
Not sure what they are.
Come on, get it centered, dill hole. Why has he got it all the way at the bottom? I mean, does that make sense? I want that bar to disappear, but it won't. It's usually when you move your cursor off, it goes away. You know, it won't go away. Maybe because it's still loading. Why is it still
and
loading?
right outside of that southern hangar. This is the new.
I think this is one craft, and I think it probably has some sort of tarp over it. And maybe it's a little breezy. And the tarp is a very reflective thing. I don't know. Well, let's take a look.
Newest hangar that I did a video on that was completed in 2014. This is the first footage in photographs of it. All the rest was satellite images, and even Google Earth had scrubbed this from their images. There's a look at it. First video shots and images of the southern hangar. And like I said, there's two objects out here right outside of the hangar. Can you guys see this? Yeah. It's just fluttering. They're kind of glistening.
Yeah, a little bit away, like a few yards.
To the left of the main. Yeah. I mean, I could see it even backing out.
That's it.
You guys can see here.
That's the P900, I think. All right. So another minute goes by. Same thing. Now, he said he got it on video.
Signing off.
That these objects just disappeared. He's already signing off. Guess what happens? Nothing.
Down at Area 51.
It just
ends.
ends.
You can see these two objects down there kind of twinkling. Not sure what they are.
So I started looking and listening to this video, to a couple of these videos on this channel.
And right outside of that southern hangar.
Watch how it ends.
This is the newest hangar that I did a video on that was completed in 2014. This is the first footage in photographs of it. All the rest was satellite.
That's it. You know what that could have been? I just realized it. A lot of the times when they're going to be moving something or going in reverse, they have those lights that are on top of the vehicles, you know, like yellow lights, or it could be red, white, and blue, or whatever. That's all it is, I think. Those are just flashing lights, spinning lights, like they have on cop cars and ambulances, fire engines and whatnot, emergency vehicles. That's what that was. And I think he realized it. Now, what he said when I heard him talking about it, let's pull that up. Where is it? Is this the video? I thought it was from Dabu. It is from Dabu, but that's Finding UFO. When he said that it just disappeared, I believe they just turned the lights off. That's all. He's got 3 channels. We'll go to the most recent one, 229.
Regardless of how much they want to constantly try to ram down your throat this information.
229. This is like another fear-mongering, another Richie from Boston. I was watching this because the new announcement from the Navy. Let's listen to what he says here.
No more dismissing it. What's happening here? The have to do with little green men every single time.
He says the UFOs that are swarming U.S. military infrastructure, the Navy setting up the new guidelines because there's so many UFOs. I think he's trying to tell us this means something.
I'm going to break this down in a live show because it needs to be talked about in depth about what's happening here, the full scale of it. There's no way that I can do this in just a small video. But what I want to point out here in this quick clip is that them changing their guidelines shows something huge is underway. This is what they're saying. Because of the sheer number of UFOs swarming around Navy strike groups and other military infrastructure, they have been prompted to set up new guidelines. Your evening news isn't going to tell you this, brought to you by St. Clair and other productions. That's all scripted coast to coast. They're never going to mention this because it's never going to be written into the script. I, for one, went to Area 51, Tikaboo Peak. I stayed at this exact spot, done everything I can to try to get to the truth per my abilities to be able to do so. And what I discovered in this was that they do indeed have some technology out there at Area 51. Those that followed us on our mission and that journey witnessed that day in broad daylight from Tikaboo Peak right down from here. They put on a show, and I have the footage on my channel still.
I just showed that.
They put on a show in broad daylight on the tarmac of something spinning and gyroing.
Nope.
Right there in front of us, and just gone, vanished. Thin air, broad daylight, crystal clear footage.
Everybody was asking. I found it. Look, I even was in their chat. Here, look. Where's this magical UFO sighting you supposedly saw? Give me a break. You have no video. Just the story. Means crap. I didn't hear from him. That was yesterday. Other people have said the same thing. Where's the link of your so-called filming a UFO? 3 days. That's 2 days before me. I replied. Yeah, this person said it's pretty old video. That's right. I found it. Show more replies. I think down here. Do. Gufon. I said exactly to what this guy said. I found the link. Here it is. This is the link. Took 2 minutes to find. It's bullcrap. I haven't heard back from Dabu. Didn't comment to what I said. Of course not. Why do people need to keep fucking lying? That video was good enough. Without him editing it, the lights being turned off. Right? We could have believed whatever we wanted. I tend to believe those were just spinning lights on an emergency vehicle because that was crap video. It showed something. It was very blurry. The camera couldn't get in that close. Yeah. This guy's bullshit. I'm calling out on his bullshit now, and I'm going to be watching this fucker because that's just shit we don't need. We don't need to add the lies to the story. You don't need it. Prove me wrong, Dabu. Prove me wrong that there is a video of these lights and objects disappearing, and I want it to be a clear video. I don't want it to be blurry. I don't want to see that these lights turned off, but there's still something there. I want to see disappear. I want to see air. I don't want to see that there's something still there. You know what I mean? Like if a truck is there and they turn those spinning lights off, you can still see there's a truck there, but you can't because the lights are off. It was distorting the whole area. No, not buying it. Anybody who does that to a video and fades to black before it takes off or shuts off or does what he said it did but didn't, they're shady. I want to hear what else this fucker's got to say.
They sure did. Gone. Right in front of...
And I can tell you just by what he said, just by his words and the tone of his voice, that he's lying. This isn't something that I figured out in one day. This is years and years and years of studying people, taking classes, courses, learning how people lie, listening to their tones. You can hear it in his voice. He's lying.
Oh.
I'll tell you how.
And I have the footage on my channel still.
I have my channel still. He didn't need to stutter. What are you stuttering for?
They put on a show in broad daylight on the tarmac of something spinning and gyroing right there in front of us and just gone.
Vanished. That's not normal. Just gone, vanished. No, that's not what people say. That's totally wrong. He's lying. He would have been a lot more descriptive. He's very vague. Just gone.
Vanished. Thin air, broad daylight, crystal clear footage. They sure did.
It sure did. You don't need to tell us that. You don't need to confirm what you already know. That's a liar. He's lying. I'm teaching you this.
Gone. Right in front of our eyes. It to me was the little treat that we know you're up there. We never ran into the guys in the white trucks, which we should have.
I thought
never
he said
seen
he
a
did.
one.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Of course, they had a camera on us at the top of Tikaboo watching us the whole time.
Oh, maybe I was so mad at catching him in the lie. So they had the camera watching him. I could have sworn he did say later on the trucks showed up.
And they knew we were there.
They knew you were there, so they didn't put a UFO out there. It was just spinning lights on an emergency vehicle, dill hole.
So my point is that
you're a liar.
They know a lot. They know what is giving out this technology. And what I mean by that is the entity.
What?
You're never going to understand this if you don't know your history.
Oh,
you're going to continue to watch the History Channel and get fed garbage on these guys.
And this guy's
because
the
what
authority.
These guys are,
this is the
I
authority.
believe, are created biological computer-type entities that are controlled telepathically by the larger. What's happening here, the full scale.
That is a huge statement.
Does anybody out there care that the U.S. military is telling the whole world that they are getting swarmed by UFOs in their missions? Do you remember the last time they showed us? Maybe you forgot.
Yeah,
this past summer, for 1 week straight, all the mainstream media outlets were showing raw footage of our guys in aircrafts over the ocean chasing UFOs.
Did you guys see that video? Hey, Carl Mitz, did you guys see those videos he's talking about where they were being swarmed by UFOs and they were chasing them? Did anybody see those videos? You know what I saw all last year? The same Go Fast video where they showed the dot going over the water, right? And the other videos where they looked like they were, with the infrared, they didn't show them like, I know, he's trying to sound dramatic, Pat. Exactly. He's trying to make it sound like they're flying all around. See, this is the exact example, the perfect example of what is wrong with ufology. He is a prime example of why you don't need to lie. The videos were huge enough that they even, talked about it was huge for ufology, in ufology's terms. You don't need to say they were flying all over, showing it every week, because they weren't. They did it for maybe a week and a half. That was it. And then they did interviews with people here and there, showing the same clip here and there. It wasn't a lot. There was maybe 4 or 5 pieces. That's it. He makes it sound like there was a shitload of coverage. And there really wasn't. Very damaging. Very damaging. Very bad. I don't like this guy. And I purposely stayed away from watching any more to watch it with you, to see what I have to deal with when I look at something for the first time. Like, I just briefly looked at a few things here just to get a gist of what I was going to talk about.